Hey guys, kinggath here to talk more about sim settlements. In this series of videos, what I want to do is go in depth into all the systems that make up sim settlements. I want to talk about the goals of the mod, the vision, kind of how I got there, where it's headed, so that as I release more content, you guys can give me valuable feedback to help steer this thing in the right direction to reach all of those goals. So lately I've picked up a new hobby where I download the saves you guys upload to the Nexus from your endgame and check out what people do with the settlements. And I found a common thing that I do as well, and that's what I've called the bunkhouse tower. These are crappy structures we build. They're just full of beds, covered in turrets, and then we lay down some food and water, and we never come back again. And the reason I know that you guys don't come back is because I will find that the number of settlers is way higher than the number of beds. There are usually tons of caps and crops just filling up the workbench, and it's clear no one's been there in a very long time. So I think one of the points that Bethesda lost us on the settlement system is that it's just too disconnected from the rest of the game. It doesn't have enough impact on the way you play while you're out wandering about, and the system doesn't feel like Bethesda. It doesn't have that sense of exploration. It doesn't have a lot of useful progression. It's just kind of there. The workshop system is awesome. Being able to build your own base is cool, but the laying down plants and beds for people is not exactly what we signed up for when we came out here to save the Commonwealth. Now, despite the name, the goal of this mod isn't actually to bring SimCity into Fallout. The goal is to make settlements as fun as the rest of the game so that you actually want to engage with them in every playthrough instead of it becoming kind of this throwaway mechanic that can be largely ignored. So specifically what I'm trying to do with this mod is make settlement building more interesting, more dynamic so you have a reason to come back. I want them to affect your gameplay in a more meaningful way. And ultimately, at the end of your playthrough, I want all of the settlements to look like unique hub cities that would fit in the Fallout world. So something as cool as Megaton or Diamond City, where they're just iconic and they pop. So each time when you finish, you just feel like it was worth it. SimCity acts as kind of the vehicle to help reach those goals. Now with SimCity, it was done on kind of a macro scale. Your goal was more to grow the population, whereas in Fallout we know we're only going to have a certain number of settlers, depending on things like charisma and how often we run into people out in the wasteland looking for a home. So it's not a direct port of SimCity. Instead, I took the core gameplay mechanic of SimCity, which is to zone out areas to decide the types of buildings that would appear in an area, as opposed to specifically choosing individual buildings. Now that you know kind of what I was going for with this mod, I'm going to lay out an overview of the next few videos that are going to go into detail on each of the systems that make up sim settlements. So the first system is the building randomization system. This video will cover specifically how buildings are selected randomly depending on the plot type. The second system is the building upgrade system, which is designed to give you a reason to come back and re-explore your settlement so that you can see the progression that's happening within that settlement. This is also tied into a reward system. The third system is what I call the dynamic needs system, and this is designed to make the things your settlers need to be happy a little less predictable. The next two systems will be combined. They're essentially designed to make the cities feel more alive. Since we're dealing on a close-up view as opposed to the overhead view of SimCity, it's important that the individual settlers actually interact with the things that are being added. So this will describe how those systems work to make these buildings feel like actual parts of your city and not just generic prop pieces. And finally, we have the reward and upgrade system. So there's systems in place to reward your interacting with the settlements and make them feel more a part of the game so that you get not only progression within the settlement itself visually, but also gain benefits for yourself while you're wandering the wasteland. Check out the videos for the systems that interest you, skip those that don't, and hook me up with your feedback on how the mod is doing at accomplishing its goals so that we can end up with a settlement system that's incredibly fun, rewarding, and something we want to come back to after every playthrough.